Thursday, the 18th day of March 2021. Hello, televiewers. Thanks so much for tuning in on this edition of the program. We are discussing what the papers are saying today, especially the power tussle at the helm of the Social Democratic Front Party, the SDF, between the Littoral Regional President Jean-Michel Ninche and the first National Vice President, Honorable O.C. Joshua. Those are some of the headlines that the papers took keen interest in this morning. And Etape Quentin is with us this morning to read the headlines in the French language for you. Bonjour, Etape.
Bonjour, Lasha politique pour parler du mouvement de succession franquiste en économie, les poissons, notamment le maquereau qui rassure les talés des marchés. Eh bien, nous allons parler également d'autres informations concernant la santé. Ce sont les thèmes qui sont sur les unes des journaux présents en kiosque ce matin. Mesdames et messieurs, bonjour et bienvenue à cette revue de presse bilingue de chaque matin de l'émission Débrief sur My Media Prime TV, l'étoile montante. Donc nous allons parcourir ces informations tour à tour. Ouvrons avec le quotidien Le Jour qui s'intéresse à la région de la Damawa et fait une enquête sur la vidéo de rebelle. Le journal Le Jour d'Aman Mana nous interpelle ce matin que le gouverneur de la région parle de groupes de bandits, des populations apeurées. Notre dossier est à lire dans les pages 2 et 3 de ce journal présent en kiosque ce matin. Poursuivons avec le même journal qui nous renseigne sur le sport en indiquant que la Coupe de la Confédération Coton Sport de Garoua bat Renaissance de Berkane 2-0. Le match s'est déroulé hier à Garoua, notamment au stade de Roum à Adja. Et nous poursuivons bien évidemment avec défi actuel qui nous parle ce matin de succession qui se cache derrière le mouvement franquiste. C'est la question que se posent nos confrères ce matin. Lancé il y a quelques jours, le mouvement citoyen des franquistes pour la paix et l'unité du Cameroun, abrégé MCFP, a pour objectif de soutenir la candidature de Franck-Emmanuel Mbia à la prochaine élection présidentielle sans l'aval du Conseil. C'est une information qui nous est livrée en page 3 de ce journal présent en kiosque ce matin. Le même journal, à son pied de une, nous renseigne sur le transport maritime et titre: le port de Kribi fait appel à l'innovation. Selon le journal, 35 équipes de jeunes codeurs vont s'employer à proposer des initiatives capables de répondre aux besoins de la place portuaire dans une compétition prévue les 26 et 27 mars prochain. Une information que vous devez retrouver en page 4 de ce journal présent en kiosque ce matin. Poursuivons avec mutation. Au marché, Maquereau, où es-tu? C'est la question que se pose le journal à sa une ce matin. Selon nos confrères, le poisson notamment ce poisson est très prisé des consommateurs, est quasiment introuvable sur les étals depuis plus de mois. Une pénurie qui entraîne le renchérissement des coûts des autres variétés de cette denrée alimentaire. Une information que vous retrouverez en page 5 de ce journal. Terminons avec le quotidien ou bien le journal Diapason qui titre: pratique mafieuse au Cameroun, Bolloré indexé par la justice française. En page 4 de sa parution, de ce matin, le journal explique qu'après la République togolaise, le Magna breton est soupçonné d'avoir stipendié des magistrats et autorités administratives au pays du président Paul Biya. Le patron de Progassa, Dragodos, Jack Dupé Dubaï, dit ne pas avoir compris qu'autant à Douala qu'à Lomé, Vincent Bolloré remporte la terminale à conteneurs ou bien la mise, ayant obtenu chaque fois la concession du terminal à conteneurs du port sans avoir présenté la meilleure offre financière et technique. Donc voilà, c'est tout pour la lecture des unes en langue française. Place actuellement aux découvertes des unes en langue anglaise avec Lasha.
Merci, Etape, Quentin. Televiewers, this morning we want to kick start with the Horizon newspaper, The Horizon, which is interested in the election of bureaus of the upper and lower houses of parliament in Cameroon. According to the paper, D-Day in Parliament, Lifaka, Tabe, Tando, top jobs. But to what end? The question the Horizon newspaper is asking this morning, like many other Cameroonians, what they would do if they are elected to the top jobs that they are eyeing. And we continue with the Horizon newspaper, this time around to talk about the power tussle at the helm of the Social Democratic Front Party, the SDF. According to the paper, Nincho eyes chairmanship with mission to return SDF to original objective. You can find details of the power tussle this morning on the newspaper stand in the Horizon newspaper. And also in the Horizon newspaper, we are told by the paper that Stand Up for Cameroon publishes rights violations in Cameroon for February 2021. The coalition of civil society organizations and political parties made the publication recently in Douala, talking about rights violations by both the military and the non-state armed groups operating in the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon for the month of February 2021. More details of the report in this edition of the Horizon newspaper. On to the post-weekender to talk about the power tussle at the helm of the Social Democratic Front Party, the SDF, after Nincho's allegations, the allegations that were made recently on the person of O.C. Joshua. O.C. Joshua swears, I did not visit the presidency in 2018. He has been accused by the first vice national chairman of the Social Democratic Front Party, the SDF, and member of parliament Joshua O.C. Nabangi, by the Littoral regional chairman of the party and a member of parliament Jean-Michel Nincho. He accused Honorable O.C. Joshua that during the race for the post of national chairman of the party, as we have been hearing and reading in the papers, and we heard that the race took an ugly twist on Tuesday, March 18. In his latest news, Nincho accused O.C. Joshua of that's the flag bearer of the October 7 presidential elections in the country. That was the 2018 presidential election, of having gone to the Unity Palace to collect money or to trade the votes of the Social Democratic Front Party, the SDF, with money so that the CBDM could win. More details of the accusations that have been labeled on the person of Honorable O.C. Joshua, all in this edition of the post-weekender newspaper. Let's leave the post-weekender newspaper. The Guardian Post, on its part, took interest in the Anglophone crisis this morning. French Foreign Affairs Minister advocates for dialogue with separatists, and the Minister of Territorial Administration and that of the Defense were in Equatorial Guinea for a humanitarian mission. They were dispatched by President Paul Biya. According to the paper, Biya exports magnanimity to Equatorial Guinea. Dispatches a contingent of military experts donate huge consignments of relief materials to victims of Bata military base explosion, which took place on March 7, 2021 in that neighboring country. And also this other report that has been made available recently by the Cardiology Society. The paper says that 17,000 Cameroonians die of heart-related diseases each year. We end with the Herald Tribune newspaper. The Herald Tribune on eminent reorganization of basic organs of the ruling CPDM party. The paper is questioning this morning who is afraid of CPDM section election in Santa. You can get more details of the analysis of the paper this morning on page 3 of the edition of the paper. And also the paper took interest in what is happening or who is better placed to lead the Social Democratic Front Party after Frundi. The paper is questioning this morning between Honorable Jean-Michel Nincho and O.C. Joshua, who is better placed to lead the SDF after Nijon Frundi. We are back in the studio, televiewers, to continue with the discussion. Meantime, we're going to the nation's political capital, Yaoundé, to meet with our guest, who is the communication secretary to the PAP political party, Elvis. Baneh, good morning and welcome to the program.
Good morning, Mr. Lasha, and good morning to all viewers of my Media Prime.
Thank you so much.
I must start by saying that the communication is not quite the best, so I don't know if there are some adjustments that could be done. I get some pains in getting you actually.
Okay, right on. We'll do our best to ensure that you get us. Notwithstanding, let's begin with what is happening at the helm of the Social Democratic Front Party after the current national chairman made his intention known that he will be stepping down and making way for the young generation to take over the party's leadership.
Well, what I would rather say is this: with respect to the transition within the Social Democratic Front, I would simply just advise that the SDF could do their maximum best to hand leadership to new blood, to some young blood that could take over the affairs of the party. But as of now, I'm not very much concerned as to who actually takes over the helm at the helm of the party. What concerns me is the present tussle between Nietzsche and Honorable OC over the recent document which was signed and addressed to the U.S. Congress. That is where my focus rather lies, because I think that the two of them have been tussling over this issue. Maybe they want to use it as an opportunity to showcase or place themselves as eventual candidates for the presidency of the party. But like I said, I'm rather worried with the fact that this document that was signed and addressed to the U.S. Congress, that Honorable Joshua OC had his signature opposed onto this document. That is what has been puzzling me. I don't understand how a man of his caliber and of the SDF party could have gone as far as opposing his signature on that particular document. That is where my problem rather lies.
But the next meeting which held on Saturday, that was over the weekend, O.C. Joshua was lambasted. He was blamed for having painted his signature without the party's concern.
Again, come again, please.
I'm talking about the NEC meeting, the recent NEC meeting which held in Yaoundé recently. I'm saying that O.C. Joshua, from the resolutions of the NEC meeting, was blamed for having painted his signature to the document, or on the document.
That is just the problem, Mr. Lasha. Like I say, I do not understand, like many other Cameroonians, how Honorable Joshua's OC signature could find itself on that particular document. Remember that the U.S. Congress, when they signed their petition, it was addressed to their own president. It was never addressed to the Republic, to the state of Cameroon. It was not addressed to the president of Cameroon. It was not even addressed to the assembly. So I don't know on what grounds they took upon themselves to sign that particular document and address the U.S. Congress. And of course, even with the arrogance that we saw in that particular particular document, and in which they claim that they are the representatives of the people. But you and I know that for 5 years running today, our assembly, our National Assembly, has not been able to discuss the Southern Cameroon's issue during a plenary session. They have never tabled it. So I don't know. I could challenge Joshua Osi, like any other MP who signed, if they could show Cameroonians any resolutions that they have been able to take as MPs in Cameroon with respect to the crisis in Cameroon, or what they have been able to do at least to force this government.
But you can't say that Elvis. We've seen Osi Joshua sang, danced in Parliament due to the fact that the Anglophone crisis was not put on the agenda of Parliament.
If the essence for which you go to Parliament as an MP is to go and sing and dance, then I'm sorry. I don't think that that's the reason why they were sent to Parliament, if I thought they were even sent there by the people, because first of all, we even wonder if they are representing the people, because you and I...
No, why do you say so? Elections were organized and they won. Elections were organized and they won.
Elections were organized, and you know, like myself, that elections never took place in the Southern Cameroons. When some people go there and, like I say, in Njineh, they claim, they state vehemently that they are the representatives of the people. I do not recognize that the Southern Cameroonians are represented at the National Assembly as of now. The people who are there, I want to think they are representing themselves, and that's why I say, if Joshua Osi, for instance, and sang songs at the National Assembly because he wanted the Anglophone issue to be tabled to the floor, and it was never done, and then he comes back to sign a document that tells the world how government has been doing all what it can do to see into it that the Anglophone crisis is resolved, then I rather say it is very, very unfortunate. Except he can challenge me here today to tell me when and how or where this issue has ever been discussed at the assembly, or tell us concretely what this government has been able to do. I know perhaps he will join the CPDM guys to cite their so-called national dialogue, which was more of a monologue than anything else. That has never yielded fruits. They talk about their special status, but you and I know that the resolutions of the national dialogue today have not been implemented. So I still say, I don't know how his signature found itself. I don't know what happened. And when I see 62 of them sign, I don't know if those 62 were mandated by the entire house to sign on the behalf of all, or was just a personal initiative of those 62 persons. I do not still understand. But
question meant only for the MP. Vividly, Elvis, before Quentin Etape puts his question to you, let's talk about this French Foreign Affairs Minister who is advocating for dialogue with separatists. Is there some kind of hypocrisy here when the French government have been accused by many Cameroonians and other opinion leaders of having been behind or not mounting enough pressure to ensure that the crisis in the northwest and southwest regions resolved?
Well, like I say, Mr. Lasha, I'm really getting difficulties in getting you, but let me just, I hope I got the essentials of it.
Okay.
When you talk about the French government or the French foreign minister advocating for dialogue with the separatists, I don't know exactly who are the separatists in this particular context of Cameroon. Are they those with arms or the government itself? But now what I would say rather is this, that I am one of those who are very, very skeptical when it comes to the French and their policies in Africa, and perhaps with respect to the present situation we are facing in Cameroon today. I can simply not trust France for anything they do, or even their minister for whatever thing he says, not until I actually see the dialogue itself fully engaged, because we know that the troubles we are facing in this country today, and like in most former French colonies, France has always been at the origin of it, and they are still at the origin of it all. So I rather think, like some other persons think too, that it is more of some hypocrisy coming from them. But there's one good thing he says, that they should engage dialogue with those he calls separatists. I want to make one thing very, very clear here, which I have often said, Mr. Lasha, that whether this government accepts it or not, the same people they parade today as separatists, the same people they parade today as terrorists and claim that they cannot talk with them, they should have it at the back of the mind that the time for dialogue shall come, and they will have to sit and talk with those particular persons. Because it is not because you and I do not agree on something that you turn around and attack me a terrorist. It does not make of me a terrorist at all. So those same people they deny to talk with today is unfortunate for them, because they shall one day have to sit and talk with those same people. It's all a matter of time, but dialogue will certainly we shall certainly get to that point of dialogue where people need to sit down and talk. But as far as France is concerned, honestly speaking, Mr. Lasha, I cannot take France for anything they say as a state or even a minister of just say, not until I see it happen.
Okay. Etape.
Voilà, parlant de cette succession du frère Biya à la tête du pouvoir.
Yeah, Quentin, my colleague, is asking about succession of at the helm of state in Cameroon, where we've had a movement that has been created in favor of Frank Biya. What do you have to say to that? Le Défi actually is talking about that. We are talking about a movement that has been created to support the candidacy or the candidature of Frank Biya in the 2024-25 elections in Cameroon. What do you have to say about that?
Mr. Lasha, honestly, all I have heard is about succession and Frank Biya. So, like I say, I will be attempting answers to questions I have gotten well because of move
right on.
What I would simply say, like I saw someone comment somewhere on social media, they say government is like testing the waters to see if Cameroonians will accept Frank Biya as an eventual successor to his own father. Honestly speaking, what I can simply tell here is, or I can simply address by the Cameroonians, if Cameroonians for once will not understand that it all depends on them who becomes a leader in this country, then I am very, very sorry about the whole thing. Because like we say, it is not today. What they are doing now is what we have known in the past, that is what they were preparing and driving towards. They want to transform Cameroon into some sort of a monarchy where someone gets to power and then eventually seats the throne, if I may call it that way, to his own son. Cameroonians must stand as a people and say no to any such manipulations coming from this particular regime. Mr. Biya cannot rule us undemocratically as he has done for all these years and thinks that after he leaves power, it is his own son that will take over from him and continue leading Cameroonians. And I say that Cameroonians are supposed to stand up as a people and take their full responsibilities into their hands and reshape the history of this country, reshape the political history of this country. The right is ours, the power belongs to the people. If truly the people are those who give power, then the people have the right to take back that power. People will not impose on Cameroonians who become head of state. The masses rather should be the ones to decipher who becomes their leader. So I think that as of now, like someone rightly said, they are testing the waters to see how far Cameroonians will accept that choice of Mr. Frank Biya maybe succeeding his father. But I want to think that we have seen it happen in other African countries, but like they say in French, impossible n'est pas camerounais. Cameroonians should not allow any such thing to happen in this country. It is not a family throne. It is not something for a particular region or a particular tribe. And even if the next head of state were to come from the same region, let it be a democratic process where the people legitimately vote that this is the person we want to continue with the management of the affairs of this country, and not a clique of persons wanting to impose on us the son of a person, the term a champion of theirs or whatsoever thing. I think that's what I can say.
Thank you very much, Elvis, for being with us this morning. We're glad you made our time.
Hello.
Notwithstanding the connections were not the best. Hello. But thank God you were able to hear us. Hope to see you tomorrow. Quentin, c'est la fin.
Voilà, c'est la fin, Monsieur Lasha. On doit remercier nos millions de téléspectateurs qui nous ont suivis. On les demande d'aller dans les kiosques à journaux et les acheter pour s'informer, parce que celui qui détient l'information détient le pouvoir, et qui détient le pouvoir doit entretenir le monde.
Thank you, televiewers, for watching. The program was produced by Christain Tebong as usual. For presentation today, we've been Quentin, Etape, and myself, Lasha Kinsley. Bye-bye. Tomorrow is another day.